says it's connected. Yeah, I got people watching the stream, so I guess it's working. Hey there, Ashburn fans. Welcome to Game 3 of the Kennedy Memorial. We're here at a different rink this time in Smithfield, Rhode Island. I'm shooting with a different phone, which is probably why the little Ashburn logo that I've usually got going isn't set up, because I'm trying to shoot with my daughter's phone. I've got one bar here. Could not get on the rink Wi-Fi. So, if she's on T-Mobile, I'm on AT&T, as I mentioned in the earlier game today. Luke would be in rotation to be in net. So he'll be our goalie for this evening. Modulo injury or equipment failure or just severe poor playing. We're playing the Wonderland Wizards, who I believe are based out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So if you hear me describe them as Bridgeport, they've got a very mystical sounding name, the Wonderland Wizards. 1 minute left in the warm-ups on the clock. Time for some redemption after a somewhat heartbreaking game this afternoon, I should say, where I guess it started in the morning. Is that right? Held at 0-0, went up by 1 in the third period with 5 minutes left, and then lost it with 3 seconds left to play. Tried to take some intro footage outside. It is snowing pretty hard, but I couldn't get my phone to connect to YouTube, so that's why I had to take another stab at streaming on Jay Mathield's phone. So tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Jay Mathield Reisacker, Luke's little sister, who is generously volunteered to let me stream using her phone. If anything, she and Luke almost insisted that I try it because they're always ragging on how old and broken my phone is. It is in fact old and broken. My employer has told me they will plan to replace them very soon. I'm not particularly interested in carrying around 2 phones, so I just use the one that work gives me. It's a pretty nice phone, but it's a little cracked at this point and slightly old. Battery doesn't last very long. That's my biggest complaint. Actually, it looks like we have a decent data rate going on here, so hopefully the stream works fine. Brian lines up with a face-off. I think he's the white line. Is that right? I forgot. Luke was trying to tell me about which were the different lines. I seem to remember the Zach is the red line. Forward. All right. Puck comes around from behind the net. Jack sends it long across the center. Intended for Landon, but didn't get there. Brian, nice check there right in front of us. Spencer will pick it up behind Luke's net. Pass it up to Jack. Jack backhands it over to Brian. Brian's going to drive it in. Tries to pass it to the center, but his teammates are busy doing a line change. He doesn't have any help. Comes back to Greg with Mason beside him. Greg gets knocked down. They're going to get around him. They backhand it over Luke's shoulder into the glass. Paul picks it up. He's going to drive through along the edge. Loses the puck, but Greg picks it up. He left it at the blue line, I guess, or got back up there. Mason sticks it away on defense. Bridgeport moves it. Luke stops it, and he holds it between his knees. Looking energetic, like he's fired up. First save of the game, I think. Hopefully, first tricky one. He might have had that early. Just kind of tapped it away. Zach takes a face-off. Spins around, gets it between his legs, and kind of just gets boxed up there. Charlie will pick it up eventually in the corner. Puts the brakes on, turns it around along the rail, tries to get it up to Joey. Charlie ends up skating almost right through the center before he diverts over the side. Gets up close to the blue line, tries to send it across to Paul, but Bridgeport gets there first. Zach turns it around, sends it past Paul into the zone, and Zach's line will head to the bench while Bridgeport lines it up. Kyle got in there. Shane, long, tries to get it to Will. They try to lift a shot. Shane intercepts it. Nice long pass to Tim. Tim will take it into the zone, looks for the pass. Got it right through the paint. Shane almost gets a shot off, but just was not to be. I think as Tim got it in close to the goalie, and there it is. I think that was Tim put it in off his own rebound. Just got it into the paint and slapped a few times. It might have been, I'm not sure. Shane was in there too. I'll go back and watch that footage later. The two of them working together, definitely. Oh, look at this. No goal. They are restarting from down here. I do not know. That seemed clear. Like, the goalie's got his helmet off. He's talking. They're going to wave it off. They do not count the goal. Brian will take the drop. That's disappointing. Brian picks up his own drop. Backhands it behind the net. Brody turns it right right in front of the paint, front of the goal. Brody again picks it up behind the net, hands it off to Jack. Jack to Brian. Brian gets a shot. Goalie bounces it. It's another scramble right in front of the goalie. This time it's going to squirt out to the corner. Brian almost gets there in time, but they're going to get it away, and we will shift to defense. They get past the blue line and dump it. I think that's Spencer picks it up behind the net. He just stops it. Bobby gets it. Brian and Bobby both in the corner there. Bridgeport gets it away. Then leaves it. He's busy looking for the pass, and he leaves the puck behind. Bobby will skate it down. Long wrister at the goal. He punches it away into the corner. But I think that's Bobby still in the corner, getting the rebound. They hold him there and send it long up to center right, where Mason will get it. Turns around, hands it up to Joey. Just as in a split second on the far side, Bobby was getting clear of the zone. Mason back to Paul. Zach behind the net. Getting lots of slapping there on that puck. Paul comes from the other side. Moves it through. Drop pass back to Zach. Still scramble on the boards. Squirts out. Paul sends it back down to Zach. Zach at the goalie, who will catch and hold. 8 minutes left. 8 minutes 20 seconds left in the first period. Score still 0-0. Unfairly, in my opinion, because that goal earlier, I have no idea why they waved that one off. Dirty officials. Maybe. All right. Shane took the drop, got his own rebound over there. Greg, hard hit in the corner, but I think clean one. Bridgeport lost it up long. Mason sends it up. Mason on D. Stops up the player with the puck. He's going to turn around, comes up to the guy at the point. Who tries to shoot it, and his own player hits it with his body. Tim tried to slap it out of there. Didn't quite get there. Will gets past the red line and dumps it. He's going to head to the bench. Mason keeps going, picks it up behind the net, backhands it along the boards to his teammate who's not there. Tim rushes in, sends it around to Greg. Greg to Brody, who tries to, I don't know if it was a shot or just try to pass behind the net. Brody staying out to keep the pressure up while his teammates are doing a line change. Landon coming in. Kyle backhands to Brian to Landon. Landon gets a hard hit there. Picks himself up. He's used to those. Brian and Landon both in the corner. Two Bridgeport players. I think it's Bridgeport. All right. I think it was Brian backhanded right through the paint. Charlie shot from the point. Brian on the boards. Brody behind him. Brody fishes it out. Tries to pass it back to the defense, but he ends up sending right between Kyle and Charlie. Neither one of them pick it up. Eventually, they both have to go chase it. Charlie gets it into the corner, sends it up to Paul, tries to send it to Brian, but gets deflected. There's Kyle and Landon. Kyle hands it to Landon. Landon tries to shot wide of the net. Paul backhands it, tries to stop it, keep it in play. And that only worked briefly. Bridgeport was right there behind him. I think that was Zach who just fell on his face trying to get the puck to his teammate, which actually worked. Charlie gets it in to the zone. Charlie turns it around again to center ice. A lot of turnovers here. Spencer up to Joey. Bridgeport kind of quasi breakaway. Backhanded, and it's in. Over Luke's shoulders, he went down. Five minutes, 44 seconds left in the first period. And Ashburn will have a 1-point deficit to overcome. Zach takes face off, hands it back to Bobby. Bobby up to Paul. Paul off the boards to himself. Bridgeport turns it around. Zach sticks it away from him and then has to chase it. Bridgeport defense will take it around, turn it around there. Zach past Joey back to Spencer, who dumps it in. Bridgeport does a nice job moving it out of the zone. Their guy shoots wide of the net. Luke kicks it away. Spencer over to Zach. Zach boards it, lets Spencer take it off. He sends it up to where we didn't have anybody at point. Tries to get out of the zone. And they just found it again. That'll be a 2-point deficit to overcome. Encouraging words to Luke from Greg. I don't know what he said, but I can see him. Hold the fight. We can definitely take these guys. They're not doing anything we can't overcome. In fact, their guy just whips it, and Shane takes it away from him. Fighting all the way. I think one of them lost a stick. Probably Shane or he's just playing without a stick. Oh, now he's going to go back for it. Will, Tim, Mason sends it back in. They have to come off as it goes around the back behind the net. Bridgeport lofts it high. It's maybe too high. Will picks it up, sends it back to Mason. Mason crosses it to Greg. Greg turns it around, has an opportunity to look and breathe. He's going to skate it in. Takes it all the way to the corner. Bridgeport sends it around. I think it's Bridgeport. Wonderland. Mason crosses Shane unexpectedly in defensive positions, covering for Greg. Foray onto offense. And he ices it. He'll bring it back. 2-0 on the scoreboard. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first period. Brian takes the drop. Bridgeport comes up with it, tries to send it through. Brian stops him on their move to the slot. He'll skate it in all the way to the corner. Turns it around, hands it back to Jack. Kyle and Charlie send it back and forth. I think Kyle tried to take a shot there. I took my eyes off it, to be honest. There's Brody turning around last second to Brian. Brian shot, got deflected by the defense. Comes back out to Kyle. Kyle behind the net, off the boards. It's going to come back out to neutralize. Charlie, being chased hard, turns it around, dumps it in. We'll have to take it from him. They try to pass it through the center, and Brody gets a stick on it, allowing Charlie to get it. He tries to put it in the center. Bridgeport knocked away before Jack had a chance to get to it. Brian putting pressure on, tries to get it away. Brody gets it away from him. Puck's sitting there for a second. There's Brody. Tries to send it through the guy's legs. Didn't quite work. They flick it up, it hits the ceiling, and play will stop. Nice warm rink inside here compared to the other rink we've been playing on. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for the hockey players. It's nice for the spectators. Zach takes face off. Paul and Joey out there on wings. Paul takes it behind the net. Tries to center it. Gets right past Joey. Comes behind him and he had to turn around. Wizards try to get it out and Spencer sends it back around. Zach will have to race to get there. They send it out into neutral zone off the boards. Bobby cross to Spencer. Back up to Paul. Bounce over his stick. Bobby and Paul here close in. And then we got Joey waiting at the line. Spencer will pick this one up. He has a little bit of a chance to look. Oh, he gets maybe too much time. He's busy looking for the best opportunity, and lost track of his own puck. Oh, a nice attempt at a long pass to Joey, but it didn't get there. The Wonderland team is relatively fast. Now Spencer turned it around. That's Joey, got it out through the center. Fresh legs coming out from Ashburn as their guy comes in fast and hot. Greg sticks it away from him to the corner, and then we'll board him, allowing Mason to send it around to Tim, except our official's in the way. Comes back, turned around by Bridgeport. Greg will pick it up, tries to get it up to Will. I lost track of it, couldn't see it, it's too close to the boards. Mason on the far side with assistance from Shane. I think he just tried to slap it out, got stopped. They take a shot wide of the net. Greg, assisted by Shane, gets it out past Will into center ice. They turn it around, but Shane will pick it up. He backhands it, and then has to go chase it himself because he didn't have a player where he sent it to. Luke sticks it away from the paint. I think it would have been wide of the net, and we are going to run out of time in about 10 seconds. Greg off the boards up to Will. Or is that Shane? That's Will. Long to Tim. Near breakaway. Shoot it. Damn it. Shoot it. Sends it to Shane. And Will. Oh, time runs out. They got to the paint. But did not have their goalie was right there. I mean, I don't know how they would have. It's too bad Tim couldn't turn it on faster. Either way, they did manage to get it in right to the post. Pardon me while I shake the camera a little bit here while I try and get a cough drop out. Some of you may know that in 2011 I had a house fire. Our house burned, and we had reconstructed by a company. I'm reminded of this because the big banner as a sponsor of this rink. Paul Davis. I cannot to tell you enough how terrible our experience with Paul Davis restoration and remodeling of suburban Virginia was. I do not ever contract with them. It was a horrible, horrible experience. They did a terrible job in my house. They were unresponsive, had terrible employees. Wizards come up with possession after the drop. Kyle sticks it away from him. It's going to come back to Charlie. He tries to send it around. They get a stick there. Try to get it right through, get it right in the paint. And I think it was Kyle or Brian that slapped it away. There's Kyle long across the Landon. Take it away. Charlie just slaps it down hard. Their goalie waved his arms like it was icing, but he was well past the red line. Jack sends it around the far side to Landon, up to Charlie. Charlie has to do a little scramble to keep possession. Sends it long, off the boards to Brian. Brian, again, still trying. Bobby off the bench, turns it around. Hands it up to Landon. Spencer off the boards to the corner. That'll give Landon a chance. Oh, Landon had a chance to go for it, but he went to the bench instead. His coach was shouting at him. I'm not sure I could hear what was said, but yeah, we're saying off. They send it long past their player, and Spencer will have a chance to do something. Sends it long up to Joey, taps it, and keeps it from being an icing call, but whereas we go fish it out of the back. Bobby passes Spencer, who will ice it. I don't think he meant to ice it, but that's what happened. 2-point deficit, 10 minutes, 23 seconds left. Scores 2-0. We will restart on the spot by Luke's net. Shane will take the drop. Hands back to Mason. Mason hands it up to Will, who sends it a little bit long. I think it was trying to pass to Tim or something. They're going to just ice it. That's going to come back. Earlier goal didn't count because the net came off. Huh. Well, if you say it, I'll believe it. Thanks, Tanya. It looked like a solid one. It must not have come off much because I didn't see. I didn't even notice. Nice defensive play by Greg. Shane backhands it up. That'll probably be icing. He thought a player, Will just went down hard. He's looking at his skate like, what happened there? Hit something. Hit an invisible bump on the ice. Invisible to my eyes, anyway. Brian takes the face off. Charlie comes up with possession, hands it up to Landon. Landon gets stopped up there. We'll shift back to defense. Charlie backhands it. Tries to backhand it out of the zone, and they stopped it. Brian got a stick on it. Oh, this is like almost a comedy of errors here. Charlie, even more so. They keep thinking they're going to go. Luke, nice save, clutched up. They tried to sneak it around behind him. There you go. That's somebody lost a glove there, I think. Something flew up. It was one of the Wonderland players. Offsides on blue. I guess that means I fixed the app I was using has not been showing me the YouTube chat, and I just thought nobody was saying anything, which was fine. But for whatever reason, the chat window on my preview screen had gotten turned off, so I fixed that. noticed today. Shot, Luke will catch and hold. They actually dropped him covered. I thought he had trapped on his chest, but either way, play stopped. That worked out just fine. Zach takes the face off, comes back to Spencer. Behind the net, I think one of their players popped it over. It's going to be, they're going to have to pick it up away in their own backfield here. Bobby picks it up right in the center of the ice, hits the defense and then loses it, but Zach's behind him, takes it. Zach powering through massive defenders, got it to the back, but couldn't find a teammate to get it away. They're going to pass it right through. Luke shifts to close that back door. Brody is going to send it spinning. Bridgefield pick it. Bridgeport? Bridgeport. Wherever the heck these guys are from. Wonderland. Alright, there's a whistle. Must have been deferred one as soon as Paul touched it. And the penalty is going to be on. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. Looks like Paul. Everybody else went to the bench. He's skating slow. Reminds me of my dog when he knows he's done something wrong. Hangs his head. Alright, we will have a penalty kill for 2 minutes. Shane takes the face off. Comes back behind the net where Mason is battling 2-on-1. Wizards send it out to their guy at the point. He's going to try to shoot. Mason gets in. He's going to ice it. Or it's not going to be icing because it's going to come right on net. Their goalie will tap it. Behind. From all the way at the far end, he just managed to find that net. It's a nice accuracy. Shane tries to take it away from him. They get around him. Greg puts some pressure on, forces him behind the net. As they come around, Shane will slap it down again through neutral ice, forcing him to come out. And then he takes it away from him, and he has a breakaway. And he will find the back of the net. Shane Sewick unassisted. Shorthand goal. Nice. 7 minutes, 2 seconds left in the second period. We will close it to 1 point. Still a minute and 8 seconds left on the penalty. Oh, I'm sorry. So, 7 minutes left to play in the second period. Minute, 8 seconds left on the penalty. Brian will take the drop. Looks like Landon and Kyle. Kyle's on defense, obviously. Charlie in the back. They get it in. Charlie picks it up as they cross the blue line. He will send it long. Brian tries for a high-angle shot. Almost works. Goalie deflects it. I'm not sure exactly where it hit, but it was a good attempt. Would have been nice to close this one. Landon tries to get a shot off, but they come from behind and snap it away from him. Shot sounded like it hit blocker. I can't tell exactly where it hit Luke. Long cross. Charlie will get it out of the zone. And I don't know why they don't call that icing. Or offsides, rather. Because I'm 90% sure Charlie got it out. I guess something. There's a shot. And a save. Kyle up to Landon. Landon long to the corner. Brian was so busy fighting with the other guy, the Bridgeport player. There you go, Jack backhands it. Oh, beautiful opportunity. He was not quite accurate. Backhanded up top shelf, but on the outside of the net. Kyle's got it. He's looking for a pass. Bridgeport's busy doing some line changes. Zach in the center ice receives the pass. Backhands it through the paint where Jack couldn't tip it in. I think that's Jack holding it up with Zach, 2-on-2 scramble, like, just fishing with the sticks, trying to get something, and they will whistle it because there's no motion. I'm sure they're all trying to do something, but they had it locked up pretty tight. Both teams at full strength. We're still down 1 point, 2-1. 5 minutes, 12 seconds left in the second period. Zach takes the drop. I think that's Brody send it around. Looks like it's going to come all the way up to... Bridgeport turns it around. Brody is there. This time it's going to come out. Spencer will pick it up. Cross to Bobby. Bobby sends it back to... I think it's Bobby. To Spencer, who was not expecting that. Yeah, it was a little bit of a scramble. There's Joey right in front of us. Spencer coming in. And Brody tries to do something. So much action, it's hard to describe. It's going to be long, no icing, because they were past the line, I guess. Spencer fighting for it, along with his teammates. I think that was Zach tried to pass it to Joey. He was looking the wrong direction or just couldn't react, slow down fast enough. That was Bobby, skated it through, got a shot off, goalie caught and held it. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left in the second period. We're down 2-1. Bridgeport comes up with it after the drop, takes behind the net, but Will does some nice moves there. He sent it into the paint. There's a scramble. Oh, the net's way off. I think it was Shane hit it off. Not really, not positive. I mean. Shane takes the drop. Tim gets a stick on it right across the line, dumps it to the corner. Mason slap shot around the boards. Shane will race to get there. Tries to do something. Tim coming in. Bridgeport gets a stick on it and they're quick to capitalize. They turn it around. Greg putting pressure on the whole way, forcing them behind the net. They try to wrap it. Luke scrambles. He manages to get knocked aside. Will had a chance for breakaway. Didn't quite. At least a foot race. It wasn't really a breakaway. Oh, nice job of the defense. They faked me out. Will. Toss to Tim. Oh, it's too much. Let's keep possession of it, though. Puck comes skittering around the boards to Kyle. Kyle drops it, tries to send it back to Will. Pressure on them both. This time they try and cross to Tim, who sends it up in the safety net, and the refs will whistle the play stopped. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the second period. Still down a point, but it's a 1 point game. We can do this. Brian will take the drop. Comes back to Kyle. Kyle taps it up to the side where Jack races to get there. Kyle across to Charlie. He's waiting for it. Long up to Landon. Landon taps it. Stops it and lets Brian take it. He was a little off balance there. Brian, beautiful job, got it right into the paint. They knocked it away, but Charlie got it at the point. Wrister from Kyle, a little bit too high. Comes up past Charlie. He's going to have to race for it. Oh, I'm pulling on the cable and my battery pointing the camera wrong direction. Sorry about that. Just leaning on the rail. Brian and Kyle comes up to Jack. Jack gets it out of the zone. Nobody's there. They're going to have to. Bridgeport will race to get there. And there's a whistle. don't know what the whistle was for. Like, I don't... I don't know, you hear someone in the stands is shouting, "Sir, how are we watching 2 different games?" I'm puzzled by the call as well. I think the guy who was shouting is not a face I recognize, not one of our Ashburn parents, so there's the whistle is on Brian. He's in the box. At least I think. I'm not positive who was. Maybe it actually might have been Shane's dad. I'm just looking over in that area. It sounded like Shane's dad's voice. Oh, they're putting 2 in the box. Landon's going in there as well. Something happened I didn't see. So it looks like a 2 and 10. Paul will take the drop. Bobby gets it, sends it in. Bridgeport tries a long pass. Paul gets in the way. Brody gets in the way. The 2 of them do a nice job turning around. Keeping it bottled up in the back. I think that was Bobby got it away, and they found it. Top shelf. Screened. Luke went down, and it went high. It will be 1-3. We're back at full strength, but Brian is still in the box. They just screwed up the scoreboard. It should be 3-1. It's saying showing 2-2. Now it says 2-1, and they'll fix it one of these days. All right, scoreboard's correct now. It's actually the face-off. Brody got it after the drop. Mason backhands it behind the net. Greg will get there. Gets slammed before he can do much with it. I think that was Brody sent it long. Cross to no one. But again, Paul picks it up the far side. Does a nice job keeping it. Or at least briefly did. That was nice. Paul keeping pressure on. It's going to come bouncing. Well, Greg will have a chance to take it. He's going to put the gas on. And I think that was offsides. This was kind of a late one. Their guy had never come off. Shane takes a drop. A little scramble there. They tried to center it. Charlie got in the way. Got it away. Got possession. Not only got it, but kept it. Oh, tries to get into the line. Got it across the line. Now we have to come out and go back in. Tim's going to race for it. It's going to... The last second, Kyle kept it in this time. Fell down with the Bridgeport player. Tim got a stick on it. He's going to send it at the net. Goalie catches it. Thought he had it. He's like... No, he gets hit him in the head again. Will... Oh, Shane tried to pass it to Kyle, who missed it. Kyle turns it around hard, and time runs out. I was like, that's a very aggressive play, but I guess he knew that time was about to run out. More so than me, I'd lost track. Ashburn will have one more period left to turn this around. I can hear the words, everything you got, from the coach. Landon will take the drop. Jack off the boards up. Bridgeport sends it back to the center. Joey turns it around, just flicks it though. Spencer on D at the blue line. Gets past him, but he stops the player. Bobby picks it up, then picks it behind the net, tries to pass it up to Jack. They got a stick on it. Bobby was there, still continuing his run. Bobby tries to skate it through, fancy little stick work, but got tapped away from him. Jack from behind, across to Landon. Landon up to Bobby. Gets to the line, and I think he tried to dump it. Line change. They're going to send it back long to Greg. He puts the brakes on, turns it around, up the boards, up to Paul. Paul across to Brody. Reaches and keeps possession. Gets across the line, sends it, and the goalie will hold it. It's a little bit wide. We can make some more accurate shots, but you do what you can under pressure, I guess. Zach took the drop. I think that's Brody was there. Greg stops it at the red line. Paul turns around. Greg handed it to Paul. Paul sends it at the net. Goalie will stop it and hand it off to his player, who backhands it behind the net. They do a nice job passing up, but Zach intercepts the pass as they try. He sends it a little bit wide of the net. He got his own rebound, sends it back to the corner to Paul. Paul sends it back behind the net again. I think that's Brody intercepting it. Scramble in front of the net, and I think that went in. They whistled it dead. I didn't see the hand gesture. It looked like it went in and bounced out to me, but they're coming out. I was so busy looking at the puck I didn't see what the referee signaled, but clearly they're not. They're not crediting it for a point, so. Shane takes the drop. Wizards come up with possession. Pass it through the center. Charlie keeps him out behind the net. Kyle on the far side keeps the pressure up. Puck shoots back behind the net again. Charlie to, I think that was Tim. Shane up to Will. Took a shot off the post. You can hear the parents screaming that was offsides. I actually think it probably was offsides. Shot, Luke They always have like tiny little pegs or something. These nets seem like they come off very easily. I think Luke covered it and the net came off at the same time. I'm not sure if Luke knocked it off or one of the players skating by him because they were coming by fast and furious. I think that was Landon took the drop. Scramble and defense. Landon's got it. Oh, tries to send it long cross to Joey. Can't reach that far. His arms are only so long. His stick's only so long. Bobby up past Landon. Joey will chase it to the corner. Landon coming in and help teammate Jack, who's held on the boards. Bobby flies to the player, takes the puck away. The Wizards do a nice job moving it through. Landon tries to mess him up, and it works because Joey came up with possession. They got it back. Send it around the boards. Jack picks it up the far side. Jack will accelerate to attack velocity. He takes the wrister, and the goalie will hold it. 2-point deficit, 3-1. 11 minutes, 21 seconds left in the third period. Wizards come up with possession after the drop. Mason came in, and they take a shot as they cross the line. Luke will catch and hold. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left. 3-1 on the board. Zach for the face-off. Sends it back. Greg sends it around to Brody. Brody getting clobbered there and held on the boards. 3-on-2 as Zach comes in to help. Lots of fishing for that puck. It looks like briefly Zach got it out. He gets it out of the zone. Wizards move it across. Dump it to the far corner. I think that's Greg. Mason getting hit from behind. Zach comes in to help. Hands it to Brody. Brody taps it up to Paul. Bounces off his stick and goes long. Bridgeport. Gimbal maybe having trouble with this slightly larger phone. Sorry for the camera angles there. That's Brody. Backhands it into the corner. Or actually doesn't even backhanded. He heads to the bench. Bridgeport tries to send it long and has to take 2 tries to get there. Mason takes the puck away, lets Greg take it in. They intercept the pass, and somebody's screaming too many. Zach sends it in, Coach almost catches it. I'm not sure which team is alleged to have had too many men, but they didn't stop play for that. Probably just bad line changing there. Shane takes the drop, comes back to Charlie. Charlie flicks it up along the rail. Will fishes it and sends it long-ish. It's going to have to come off. They got past the line. Charlie crossed to Kyle. Kyle up to Shane. Shane's under a little more pressure than I think he expected. Spun it around, dumped it in the boards. There's Kyle again with the puck. Skates it in, shoots, goalie will glove it and hold. Remind the fans at home that our opponents earlier today came up from a 2-point, no, I guess it was only a 1-point deficit Ref gets knocked to the ground. Charlie across to Kyle. Kyle off the boards up to Jack. Landon again collides into the referee. He's getting just like knocked around over there. Bouncing comes out of the offensive zone. They have to get past Charlie, which they do. Luke will catch and hold. He's got it. I don't know what kind of adrenaline rush that is to be a goalie. I don't think I can do it. One of the reasons why I like commenting the games is my brain is so busy running my mouth that I can't be bothered worried about how my son's doing. Paul gets possession after the drop, does a nice job skating it through. Defense gets it away from him, and Brody and I think Zach helped him out. Bridgeport shoots wide of the net, right in front of it. They try to get another shot. High stick on Spencer, I think. They're going to restart that one. I think that's what happened, that one there. Try to get it through the center, and he slapped it down. Zach takes the face off. Bobby comes up with possession off the boards up to Brody. He gets around the defender. Nice centering pass, but he didn't have a teammate there. Paul got there a split second too late. Bridgeport turns it around. Their guy hesitates at the line. All right, Paul gets around him. He's going to race for it again, have another opportunity. Nice centering pass to Zach. Shoots. Goalie deflects it, and there's nobody else there for the second rebound. I guess it was the first rebound. Greg to Will. Will tried to drive it through. Got away from him. Greg. Long to Will. Will dumps it to the corner. He'll have to go fight to get it back, which he's doing. Getting shoved a bunch. Tim comes in to help. Comes out. Puck squirts out to Kyle. He sends a wrister. Again, a little bit wide. Greg tries to send it. Hits the defense. Foot raised. Kyle's going to get there first. Fast when he wants to be. He sends it over to Greg. Sends it back to Kyle. Sends it to Shane. Tries to send it up to Will. They intercept it. Kyle putting some pressure on in the backfield. Either Kyle or Shane turns it around to the other corner. There's Shane. Bridgeport doing a nice job. They wrap it all the way around Luke's far side and just can't quite get it enough. That was close. He had the near side covered and far side couldn't move fast enough. Luke's got it. He didn't hold it. Coach is screaming. Charlie putting real pressure there. Scrambling. Gets it. Tries to center it. Wizards get there. Charlie, slap shot. Wide of the net. Again with their tiny pegs. Oh, one of their guys. I don't know if it was one of their guys or it was Tim. Sends it high up into the safety net. It's trapped up there. Players trying to get it on the stick, but it ain't coming down. They're going to have to pull a new puck. Fortunately, we got enough pucks. Landon's ready for the drop. Brody sends it around behind the net. Joey stops it, tries to send it, but bounces over a stick or something. Jack will pick it up, center ice. Long. Tried to get it up to Landon, but didn't work. There we go. Landon picks it up again. Nice moves. Joey tries to cross to Landon. Spencer slaps it down. Joey will race over there. they had plenty of time to move it, and they just let Joey come in, and they're still doing a nice job moving it back and forth, keeping our guys skating. They're skating hard, but hard around the board. Spencer stops to the point, tries to get it free. It's going to come out. Charlie in the center. It's up to Jack. Jack backhands it, hands to the bench. Joey stays out to keep the pressure on. They send it long. Joey's so busy going to the bench, doesn't notice the puck skitter between his legs. Charlie boards the guy hard. Paul with a breakaway. Oh, can't get the shot off. He was a little off balance from the defense, and who actually kind of left him alone in that last second. So they avoided crashing into his own goalie. Long up to Greg. Greg, wrister, and it's in the net. Nice. Score will be 2-3. Ashburn's got 1 point to recover with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to do it in. I'll remind you that earlier today, our opponents managed to find the net with 3 seconds left to play. So that's got to be on these boys' head and minds that this can be done. Shane took the drop, handed back to Spencer. Shane turns it around, got there. Oh, there's Will almost right to the slot, and defense kept him from getting a clean shot. Bobby in center ice. Turns it around, hands it up to Will. Will, under pressure, hands it off to Tim. He's going to send it bouncing towards the net. Spencer, the goalie knocks it away. That was a nice opportunity. Will scrambling. 2-on-1 pressure. His teammates are looking for position. Their guy gets ahead of the puck, and they dump it, and they're going to do a line change. Bobby will pick it up behind Luke's net. 3.5 minutes left. Bobby off the glass, long to Will. Puck is just spinning like a top. Zach picks it up, skates it through, turns it around behind him. Tim slaps it up again. Zach picks it up. He's looking for something. Tries to get it behind the net. Got it behind the net, and I think it's on top of the back of the net, so they whistle that one dead. 3 minutes, 6 seconds left to play. Today's broadcast has been narrated by my evil twin, who turns out to be an alligator person. Zach around the boards to Paul. Paul looking to put it in the slot. Oh, scramble. Come on, guys, you can do this. It's going to come out. Greg gloves it down from... We have to get off. He was in neutral ice. Zach hesitates just a beat for Brody to get clear. Sends it in. Bounces off the goalie's shoulder. And dropped there in the paint. Wizards intercept something, and they turn it around. Hands it off to their guy. I think that was Mason, turns it around. Paul, 1-on-1. Cross to Zach. He had defense on him. Gets hit hard, and there is a whistle on the play. Zach went down hard. His poor parents are very upset about it. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the third period, we're down by 1 point, and we just got a power play. Brian will take the drop. Tried to hit it to Landon, who briefly had it. It's going to come back to Kyle. We're empty net. Kyle off the glass. Up to Joey. Brian behind him. The two of them working it. Brian back to Kyle. Kyle back to Brian. Brian crossed to Charlie, I think. He took the shot in. Scramble in front of the net. He did not find the back of it. They got it away. Brian's got possession. That was Landon back to Kyle to Charlie. They're going to get there, and Charlie will get it away. They end up gloving it. We got a minute 21. Charlie will take it right through. Long up to Jack. Jack tries to skate through defense. They're going to get it away. Bobby coming off the bench. They'll pick it up in the corner. Long up to Jack again. Get another shot at this. Jack skates it in. Loses it to the corner. It's going to come around to Charlie at the far side. Charlie gloves it down. Stops it at the skate. He's going to do whatever it takes. Shane coming off the bench. Takes it in. Brian battling to keep it, to get it over to Shane. Shane off the boards, back to himself and Brian. They're both right there. Shane out to Bobby. Bobby lines it up. Wrister hits Tim in the back of the leg, unfortunately. And they're going to try to send it to the net. Bobby gloves it out of the air and turns it around. We're not done with this. Charlie across to Tim as he waits for his teammates to get off. Shane from the blue line with 8 seconds left. The goalie will catch and hold. I think coach is changing players out in the last second. I mean, last 8 seconds. 8.5 seconds. Zach takes the drop. Paul briefly is trying to get a stick on it. It's going to come out. Bobby will race. And as the clock runs out, he tries to slap it in. But that's it. We're done. Lost it by 1. There was a lot of opportunities there. We could have turned this one at least into a tie. And unfortunately, it won't go down that way in the book. I still question that first goal. It felt like, we were going to have the lead, which definitely not only has a score impact, but a psychological impact. Have that taken away from you is a little bit of a bitter pill. People say the net came off. They probably did. They wouldn't say if it weren't true. This will be our third defeat of this tournament. 3 very close games. I don't feel like this was it's good hockey. We got one more tomorrow, but I think I haven't looked at how many teams are in this thing. I don't know if we have a chance to go to the playoffs at this point. We'll see y'all back in this channel tomorrow morning. Actually, I think it's tomorrow afternoon, right? The game's not till 3, as I recall. Check the schedule. And drive safe out there. I don't know. I heard that. I saw the forecast for Virginia. It looked like it wasn't forecast to have much accumulation, but we probably got an inch outside, I would guess, based on the rate it was falling when we walked in here and how much was already on the ground. So, everybody be safe. Don't forget to be awesome. Don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be out in a minute. So I can film the snow. I don't think anybody's watching. Here we are in the parking lot. It's snowy up here. All right, here we go. Have a good night.